now that spring has officially rolled onto our small farm, things are getting moving again after a long winter. And so there is lots to do. Today I want to take you along as I be productive and get things done around our farm and the one down the road. So let's go. Also, I have a little update on Juniper. She's our one goat who was in with our buck, and I'm pretty sure she is pregnant. You can already start to see it. Her belly is really stiff and she's a lot bigger compared to the other goats, which has me so excited for babies because they are just so adorable. She could possibly be 2 months pregnant already. I'm not really sure because we put her in and then we put her in again because we just wanted to make sure she was bred, and now I think we know. But I guess she could always surprise us. Now I'm gonna go and do the boys. Okay, well now I'm gonna go inside and grab a quick breakfast, and then I'm gonna head over to the horses. While I'm at the horses, I think we're gonna do some chores, but then we're also going to be working with Rosie, Ducky, and Sunny. Hopefully anyways, because we want to do some groundwork with them, and we also have to take Sunny out riding because we want to get her used to that. I rode Rosie last night and she did pretty good, but she does have a problem with not walking. The goats were pressing on the back of my legs and I fell over, but that's okay. Anyways, Rosie has a bit of a problem of laziness because sometimes she does not want to walk. So last night I got her walking a lot better, and I even got her into a pace. A pace is a bit different than a trot, but it's a thing a lot of standardbreds do, and it's basically just another speed. But today I really want to do some groundwork with Rosie because groundwork is the key thing to fix things like that. So yeah, that's my plan for today there, hopefully. Hi. Mittens, come here. No? You're so chatty. Like, she wants to follow me, but she doesn't want to be pet. I guess that's just the way it is with you. Also, if you're wondering why I'm still wearing winter overalls, it's because it's actually pretty cold out today. I think the most it's supposed to be is 10 degrees out, and last night we even got a little bit of frost, which I'm not too happy about because I'm kind of just about ready for summer. But yeah, that's why. Okay, so I've made it to the barn, and right now we're gonna go out and lunch the horses and do some groundwork with them. Also, I moved all of my tack into this locker now, so that's where everything is, which is way nicer because it's a lot more protected. Okay, so we're gonna need a lunge line and then I think a whip. Now this whip is not for hurting the horse, it's just basically an extension of my arm. And since Rosie's really lazy, we'll probably need it. What's that? Okay, so the thing I want to work with Rosie today is not stopping when I'm asking her to walk. And then also yielding and listening to my commands and cues. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to do some in hand first and then we'll get the lunge line out. And I'm not really sure if she knows how to lunge. If not, then we'll just start teaching her. So Rosie's previous owners actually told me that they didn't know if she could lunge or not because they hadn't really tried it with her. So before I did anything, I just did in hand with her, walked her around, see how her stop and go was. When she did the right thing, I made sure to give her lots of praise so that she knew that she would get rewarded for doing that. And then after that, I tested out how she would do going in a circle with just the length of the lead rope so that I was close enough to her that I could grab her halter to control her a bit more. And she did really good. She understood the concept and I was actually really surprised that she did this. Once we finished doing that, I walked her around a little bit more and then made her stand still for a few minutes without eating grass or putting her head down because that has been a real problem for us lately. Whenever I'm leading her to her stall or anywhere really, she'll try to eat the grass because it's so fresh and green right now. But I don't want her doing that, especially when she has a bridle on. So that's what I was working on with her here. And then after that, I did some Liberty work with her, which is basically where I'm working with her, but I am not touching her at all physically, and she is just doing it based on body language and focus and partnership between the person and the horse. Then after that, I pulled out the lunge whip, which again is just an extension of my arm, and I started getting her going in circles with that because I wanted to make sure she was used to that as well. I still did it with just the length of the lead rope to start, but we did eventually get to using the lunge line, which is basically just a lot longer. Then I tried doing a bit of yielding her hindquarters to see how she would move doing that, and I think overall she had done really good so far. She did have a little bit of laziness sometimes where she didn't want to walk, but when she did that, I made sure to encourage her to keep going forward because stopping would have been the easier thing for her, but I wanted to make it the harder thing and walking the easier thing. Let's just say that she doesn't really have any problem with stopping when you ask her to, or even when you don't. She's definitely considered a more whoa than go horse, but I'm okay with that because sometimes she does have a bit of spice still. Again, I stood with her for about 5 minutes without letting her eat any grass so that she knew that when we were working and in that type of mindset, she wasn't allowed to put her head down and eat because that would make her distracted, and she did really good. I just stood there with her for a bit and we didn't have any problems at all. Doing so good. Good job, Rosie, good job. Okay, now I'm taking out the lunge one to see how she does with this. That, huh? Okay, now I'm pulling out the lunge line and we're gonna try see how she does with this. It's a bit longer, so I have a bit less control and there's a lot more room for her to push and pull. So this will really test how much she knows. I don't expect her to do it perfectly right now, but I really want to spend time teaching her how to lunge well because it's such a nice way to exercise your horse and bond with them. I put pressure on to make her walk and do the speeds that I commanded, but when she did it, I instantly released the pressure so I wasn't pushing her too far, and anything she did past that point was a bit of her own doing or some spice. When she went faster than I wanted her to, I released the pressure and asked her to slow down to the speed I wanted her at. I would say for the most part she listened, but there were a few times she was a bit silly. Anything you do to the one side of the horse, you want to do to the other side, so I switched her and went on the other side to lunge her, but she did not do as well on this side for some reason, so she definitely does a lot better with things on her other side. This surprised me a little bit as well, but I'll just have to work with her on that. I did as much with her as I could get her to do on that side, but then we called it a day. Okay, so I feel like Rosie did pretty decent. Obviously it wasn't perfect and she was a bit spicy. It was a lot more than I was expecting, and the one side she seems to do a lot better on than the other. Horses usually have a dominant side just like you have a dominant hand. So yeah, now I'm gonna wrap up the lunge whip and then we're lunging Sunny. Now we're going to be working with Sunny. Sunny is a 3-year-old pony mare, so if you know horses, you know that is an awesome combination for training and riding. She's so sweet and so cute, but she does have a bit of an attitude. But anyways, we've been working with her for a little bit. This is Alice's, my neighbor's horse, but she was actually doing really good here, and she is also a bit lazy just like Rosie, except that when she gets frustrated, her reaction is to go way faster than you want her to. Sunny has a hard time standing still when you're brushing and tacking her up, so I worked with that for a little bit, and then I also did some neck reining exercises with her. And we got on Sunny to ride her bareback as well. At this point, we're just taking it very slowly with her because she's a bit sensitive and moody, and so we want to be careful but still increase her knowledge and training. She's actually really nice to ride and does really well as a lead line pony, but riding by herself and taking full control of her has been a challenge, and we have fallen off a few times. After we finished with her, we went back to the barn and put her stuff away, and then we got asked to clean out one of the cow stalls that a mama and her calf were about to go into. It's not terrible. Okay, we're in the process of cleaning this water trough, and it is nasty. It's so gross. Disgusting. There's like sludge at the bottom, bro. Oh, I got it on me. Ew. The cow will be grateful. Yeah. Not for her though, that was the biggest mistake. Okay, now we're going to deworm the horses.
Wait, Sunny would be
270. So the amount you use in the dosage is based on their weight. So Rosie's is around 450. Right there. Okay, guys.
sorry, but I'll give you treats. Hey, good girl.
See how she likes this. I've never done this with her before. So
Yeah, there you go. She's smiling. Oh, her head's so high. Yeah, I can see it. She did the best at her. Good girl. Yeah. What's the smiling?
so they can see it.
She's like, it tastes weird.
Yeah.
Smile.
Okay, well I just got back home from the horses and now I'm going to be doing some stuff inside. First I have to make lunch and then I'm going to clean my room and do my laundry, and then after that I'm hoping to do some watercolor. Watercolor has been a way that I've been able to make a bit of money to support the animals and myself, and I also really enjoy it, and I feel like every time I do it I get a little bit better, so I kind of want to show you guys that as well. So I'm going to go upstairs now and start making lunch. If you know me, you know I love salads, so that's what I'm going to have today. So another thing I really love making are drinks like smoothies and teas and stuff. Smoothies are especially my favorite. I have one in particular that I'm gonna make right now that is literally the best smoothie ever. And then last summer I was making this ice cream iced tea thing. It was like Earl Grey, and then it was like ice and then ice cream in it, and I'll blend it up and then more ice cubes, and it was just so good. So yeah, let's start on that smoothie. Okay, so the first ingredient you're gonna need is coconut water. We get this one from Costco. Is some of this tropical mix. This is also from Costco and it's so good. Ingredients are pineapples, mango, dragon fruit, and passion fruit. So if you could find something similar to this, you'd probably get the same flavor. And those are actually all of the ingredients. That's all you need. And then it's just finding the ratio and blending it up. Okay, so these come in little packages in this bag, so I usually just do one. And then I just take the coconut water and fill it up just over the fruit. Well, I just finished eating my lunch and it was really good, and now I'm going to go do my laundry, and then while that's in I'm going to vacuum my room, and then I'm going to work on some watercolor. Okay, well now I'm gonna start doing some watercolors. I brought all of my supplies out, so I'm gonna show you guys all of that and then we'll get started. Okay, so watercolor paper is obviously something that I need to be able to do this. I always cut the pages in half because I like smaller cards personally, and I find smaller pieces of paper a lot easier to paint on. After I cut them, I fold them in half. So typically I use an inspo picture, or at least something to look at to make a card. Sometimes I'll do it just making up my own, but they often don't turn out perfectly. And so I find it a lot easier just having some sort of idea to look at. Since Mother's Day is coming up, I'm making a few Mother's Day cards because those have been selling really well. So that means like a lot of flowers. Obviously I do cards revolving around holidays such as Christmas or Valentine's Day. And then I just have common cards like happy birthday, thank you cards, and just for you and get well soon. So I guess we'll see what we come up with. Okay, so I just got changed into some riding clothes because I'm actually going to be going back up to the horse barn. So I might have to pause on my watercolor, but I've done a few cards now and I'll show you guys them after if I don't finish them all now. We're also going to be feeding the horses right now because we didn't do that this morning. Okay, so I actually am at the barn now. I had someone pick me up and drop me off here because all of my family's gone right now. And so yeah, I'm gonna start prepping their food because I'm here by myself and I'm a bit early. Okay, now let's go do some horse feed. I personally always soak grain because it prevents choke and it's a lot easier for the horses to digest as well. Okay, so the stuff I put in these buckets is called hay cubes, and it's basically chopped up hay compacted into cubes, and when you put them in water, they expand. Okay, so we got all ready, and then we took Rosie and Ducky out to the field to ride them. I've ridden Rosie a few times now, and I've been doing it in the English saddle because the Western saddle has just been so weird on her. She reacts very weirdly to it, and she doesn't like it at all, so I don't want to ride her in something that's making her uncomfortable and making me lose my confidence in. So we took them out, and it was pretty windy, and they are also both in heat right now, and Rosie was being fine. Again, she's a bit lazy, so I'm working on that with her, and I also have a crop with me as an extension of my hand while I'm riding her. But Ducky was being weird and rearing for some reason, and we still don't really know why, so we ended up calling it quits earlier than we wanted it to. Obviously something was wrong, or she just wasn't feeling it, because Ducky is a very seasoned, trained, and well-ridden horse, and so it's very odd for her to be acting like that. So we ended up walking them both back to the barn and untacking them, and then we put them out in a new field because they need new pasture. That didn't go exactly as planned, but I still got on Rosie and she was doing really good, but Ducky was having a bit of a tough time, and so that is why it was a bit shorter than planned. But yeah, they're all fed and happy in their new pasture, so I'm going to continue on my watercolor cards. Okay, so this is another Mother's Day one, and then we've got a little cake, and then we've got a little happy birthday card. So yeah, that's it, and now I'm going to package them, which basically means I'm just going to get an envelope and put it with them, and then they go in these plastic slips. Okay, right now I'm going outside to do the goats and the chickens because it's around 7 o'clock and I've been at the horses all day, so I want to say hi to them. So let's go. Hi guys! Look how chunky Juniper is getting. I mean, it's not too bad, but we're getting there. You gonna be a mama? Okay, so I'm actually gonna close the gate to their field because it needs to regrow for a few weeks, so they're gonna be off of that for a little bit. It was a pretty harsh winter, and then I let them on it right away, which might have been a mistake. And the grass and weeds are growing a little bit, but it definitely needs to rejuvenate, so let's close that gate. Juniper. Oh. Oh, hi. Juniper. Guys, you can't do that. Only give your goats sweet feed if you're willing to deal with the chaos, because they go crazy. These are adorable. Okay, well I think that's it for today. On a scale of productivity, I think I got quite a bit done today, although most of it was horse related. But yeah, I'm happy with what I got accomplished today, so I hope you have a good rest of your day as well. I'm just gonna do some things inside and take a break from filming, but I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Bye!